Hey YouTube, welcome to Superhero Sunday here on the Movie Files. I'm Will. Yes, it has been a couple of weeks. I have not done a Superhero Sunday or a Trek Tuesday video, or any videos for that matter, in a couple of weeks. There's a reason for that. The reason, well, unfortunately, I'm going to have to cancel the Trek Tuesday segment. I will no longer be doing that. At least I don't believe I will. I may look into doing it a little bit more, but as of right now, due to a pissing contest between Paramount Pictures and myself, I will not be doing any more Trek Tuesday videos or Star Trek videos at all. I'm still up in the air as to whether or not I'm even going to do a video review of Star Trek Beyond. And so that's how that is. As for Superhero Sunday and my other random videos, I've actually been hard at work. I'm working on, I'm writing a book currently. I'm not prepared as of yet to disclose the subject matter of the book. However, I will say that it is a book that you would expect to be written by a film critic. It definitely centers around the film industry and one particular film genre. But that's not what I'm here to talk to you about today. Today I'm here to talk to you about Marvel, more specifically Marvel Studios and the movies that they produce, and how they are in fact destroying the comic book movie and superhero movie genres. Now, I know this is not going to be a popular view. It's not going to be a view that's going to make me many friends, and it may get a lot of hateful comments down in the comment section. Bring it on. I don't care. If you want to leave me some hateful comments, that's great. We'll talk about it. I'm going to lay out exactly why I hold this position, my evolution into the realization of this position, and what I feel can be done, if at all, to save the genre from the direction it's now going in. Now, the reason why I feel that Marvel movies are ruining the comic book genre is because, not because of the work that Marvel is doing, ironically enough. I enjoy Marvel movies, and I think they do good work. However, I have noticed that I've, and more recently, been put in a position where I have to attack Marvel in order to defend everything that's not Marvel. And I don't like being put in that position. I don't like being placed in the position I'm in right now where I have to make this video. Unfortunately, the fans are holding Marvel movies up as a standard. And the problem you run into when you hold anything up as a standard is that, and you expect everything else to conform to that standard, is that you pave the way for that particular thing to become standardized. Okay? And right now, we are going in a direction where the fans expect every comic book and superhero movie to be a Marvel movie, to be the way Marvel does it, to be done in Marvel's unique style. And we are on the route for comic book movies to become standard, for there to become nothing special about them. They're going to become status quo. They're going to be status quo because that's what large numbers of the fans seem to expect. Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, and even Man of Steel to an extent got a lot of hate because it deviated from that Marvel formula. It deviated from what is the standard and did its own thing. This, folks, is not a bad thing. It's really not. You don't want comic book movies, you don't want any genre to become standardized. You don't want that. You don't want it to become status quo. Because what happens after that is it gets boring. If every Marvel movie, or if every comic book movie suddenly is a Marvel movie, or has the style of a Marvel movie and the feel of a Marvel movie, folks, they're going to get boring. They're going to get boring, and eventually they're going to die out. This is something that happened with the Western. The Western died out not because people were sick of cowboy movies. Not that at all. It's because every cowboy movie and throughout the 70s was starting to become exactly the same. And people stopped wanting to see exactly the same movie. This is the route we're headed with comic book movies, folks. I mean, it really is. And you can sit there and shake your head and you can say that I'm wrong, but I'm really not. You really need to step outside your box and you need to look at this. You need to look at this this issue that we're having. You know, Arrow has already been ruined. Arrow has already been ruined because of this exact thing. Because fans wanted it to be lighter. Fans wanted it to be more like the comics. Fans wanted it to be everything that they were getting from Marvel movies, and it ruined the show. The show has gone severely downhill. Now, maybe it's a little bit of hyperbole to say that the show is ruined. The show isn't that bad. The last season is still very watchable, very enjoyable, but it's definitely lost the magic that it had in the first 2 seasons. And I think that's because they got away from that dark and gritty and real-world feel to appease a lot of these fans. Now, I'm not saying that there's not room for movies to follow in Marvel's footsteps. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is that there still has to be room for comic book movies to do their own thing, and without fielding criticism for being not lighthearted enough, for being too heavy, for being too intellectually structured, as Batman v Superman was, for journeying off the superhero plantation, for lack of a better term. This is going to kill the genre, people. It really is. We've got to stop this. We've got to get back on a track where we can watch a superhero movie and let it stand on its own and not compare it to what's come before or what Marvel's doing. We need a space where we can sit back and we can have room for many different types of comic book movies. We can have room for the light-hearted popcorn movie. We can have room for the heavy-handed morality play in tights. We can have room for the superhero horror movie, as All Superheroes Must Die was. We have room. We have room in the genre for all of these little subgenres, and we need to let that blossom. And I have to point out that fans are holding Marvel movies to a standard that they simply can't meet. Marvel movies are already standardized. They've got two-dimensional villains. They're very standard superhero movies. You get in, you see a couple of guys in tights punch each other in the face, and you get out. And that's great. That's great for what those movies are, but the genre can be so much more. Please stop with the trying to make it be what it's not. Trying to make this movie or that movie or another movie be what it's not. Every space opera isn't supposed to be Star Trek. And likewise, every superhero movie doesn't have to be Iron Man. Every superhero movie doesn't have to be the Avengers. Because to be honest, folks, there's nothing special about those movies. They're good movies, but there's nothing special about them. There's room for comic book movies that are special. And that's about all I wanted to say on the subject. I really am interested in your comments. Leave them down below where they go. And if you think I'm wrong, by all means, tell me I'm wrong. Let's talk about it. Let's have a discussion. Because that is something that I think that the internet is sorely missing these days, is the intellectual, well-founded discussion. Tell me what you think. I'll tell you what I think. Let's have a talk. Let's discuss this like grown-ups. Grown-ups who read comic books. Thanks for listening and have a nice day. Hi everyone. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, share, subscribe. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. And make sure you head on over to The Blaze and check out my weekly column where I do movie reviews and general Hollywood industry commentary. You can find the links for all those things in the description below. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.